So let's have a look at question 11. Okay. And it says, this credit card has up to 55 days interest free and is due on the 22nd of each month. Okay. The interest rate is 15.4% per annum compounding daily, right? Now, there's some key words that I'm going to highlight and just draw your attention to as we go through it a second time round. But let's just get all the information the first time round. Charlie buys furniture costing $5,160 on the 25th of October. How much interest is he charged if he pays the balance on the 22nd of December? Interest is charged from the date of purchase if the total amount owing has not been paid by the due date. Okay. Awesome. Now, did everyone kind of get a chance to understand the question? Maybe not. Well, let's go through some key words, right? So anyone who wants to volunteer, what are some key words that are worth highlighting?
Your percent.
Yep, I'll start with Heath.
Oh yeah, our per annum interest rate.
Yep, per annum is a key word. Someone else was saying something that who was saying something else?
Compounding daily.
Compounding, yeah. So what's special about the word compounding?
You use the compound interest formula.
As opposed to?
The simple interest formula.
Yep. Okay. Just as a refresher, what is the compound interest formula and what is the simple interest formula? Simple interest formula, we'll start with that which is simple. Okay.
I equals PRN.
Yeah, I equals to PRN. Good. Okay. And then we'll compound that with a compound interest formula. Now, you probably have this in your reference sheet as being something different. That's with FV, doesn't it? FV.
Oh yeah, the future value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FV equals 2. Do you remember?
Is it? I think it's
future value equals present value 1 minus O plus R to the power of n.
Yes, that's right. Okay, cool. Now, Heath, who mentioned earlier the PA, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's special about PA? What does PA mean? What does PA mean?
Yearly?
Yes, it means yearly, right? So per annum. Is it double N? I don't even know. Yep. Yep, means yearly. Got it? Okay, cool. What else what else do you notice about this question? Someone else?
55 days interest free.
Yeah, 55 days interest free. Okay, so you got 55 days to pay, okay, whenever the due date is, right? The other thing I was going to say is that if you don't pay within 55 days, right, what happens?
You get charged.
From? You're absolutely right. From when?
22nd of each month.
Yes, that's when the calculation will be provided. But how do you calculate how many days of interest you owe? From the? I'll give you a hint. It's in the last line.
The date of purchase.
Yeah, from the date of purchase, right? So effectively, if you pay on the 56th day, so you got 55 days interest free. So on the 56th day, day 56, right? How many days worth of interest do you pay? Is it 1 day because you're 1 day late, or is it 56 days because you're over the 55? It's hard to read, isn't it? On day 56,
You only pay 1 day.
how many people think 1 day? And this is how credit card companies get you. This is how they get you, because it's from the date of purchase, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if you pay 56 days after your date of purchase, you lose this whole interest-free period. That goes out the window, right? And let me tell you something else about banks and credit cards and how they just get you with hidden costs, right? And this is one of those things, right? When you do electronic transfers, do you know what I mean? By, you know, like internet, where you pay, you know, your bills by internet and whatever. It actually takes how many, like different banks are different, but how many days does it take to clear funds?
Can't remember.
Like 48 hours, or some days, some banks are up to three business days, right? So if you pay on a Friday, you've got the 2 days, which are the weekend, right? And you've got 3 business days after that, which is almost 5 days later. What you pay actually gets rendered, okay? Gets delivered. So in order to be safe, you actually want to pay well before the 55th day. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even though you might pay on the 55th day, right, you actually might get charged interest, and you won't even know it, okay, if you don't check your bills. Because what will happen is they'll charge you interest because they haven't received payment yet, and they will charge you interest, and they're relying on you not to pick it up. And so yeah. And how many people will actually pick it up on their transactions? Yeah, very few, a small percentage. So they're still making money off you. Isn't that dodgy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very dodgy. Anyway, let's get back to the maths, right? This particular person, what's his name, Charlie, right, pays his thingamajig, pays for his furniture, costing $5,160 on the 25th of October. All right, so the 25th. Let's use a different. 25th of October. Okay. Now, how many days is it before the end of October? Now, what's the last day in October?
31st.
31st, right? Okay. And if you want to know how many days are in each month, there's a method that you can use your knuckles for, right? And I can show you that, or your tutors can show you that, but it's important to know how many days there are in each month. How many days is there from the 25th to the 31st of October? Okay. And let me just
6.
tell you that it's a trick question.
Do you include both days?
Yeah. There's actually 7 days, right? There's actually 7 days from the 25th of October. What you do is you go 31 minus 25, and that's 6. If you rightly got that, there's 6 days. But it is calculated. When interest is calculated, you actually get calculated from the date of purchase. Okay, so if the date of purchase is day 1, right, then if you count, right, let's do this. You got 5, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. How many days is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You see how it's 7 and not 6? Yeah, it's one of those sneaky things, right? So you actually get charged 7 days worth of interest, not 6. So what you got to do is you do the 31 minus 25, and then you got to plus the 1. Okay. Okay. And that gives you the 7 days that we want. Okay. All right. So now let's have a think about it. How many days is there from the 1st of November till the end of November? When's the end of November? How many days has November?
30 days.
30, right? So how many days is there from the 1st of November to the 30th? Okay. No sneakiness here. It's just 30. Okay. We've already added the +1 up here. There's no more +1s to do after that. Okay. How many days is there from, and then we go to the 1st of December, right? And what date are we paying off our thingamajig?
22nd
22nd of
December.
right? 22nd of December. So then we go 22nd of December. So how many days is that? 22 days, right? So just remember that there is a +1 that you have got to do pretty much every time unless you're told otherwise, okay? So if we add up all these days, and let's do that, 7 plus 30 plus 22, how many days is that?
59.
Yeah, 59 days. Given that, hang on, there's a 9 there. Hang on, let me just write that again. 59 days, right? Given that we're paying 59 days, given that we're paying 59 days later, how many days worth of interest are we going to be charged? Remember this?
59 days.
Yeah, 59, right? Which is sneaky, right? Because you would have thought that you would have been paying how many days?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like 5 days interest, 4 days interest, right? Because it's 4 days late, but it's actually 59 days worth you get suckered with. So in big bold writing in their advertisements or in their advertisements, they're telling you that you got a 55-day interest-free period. Aren't they great? But they're also charging you at the same time for not paying on time. Okay, so all right. So which formula are we going to be using?
Compound interest formula.
Yep. So it's this one here. And we just need a lot of this information, right? So we got FV, and I'll just continue up here. FV equals to PV 1 plus R to the power of N. Now, help me out here. We need some basic information. Right? We need FV, we need PV, we need R, and we need N. Can anyone help me out with some of this basic information? Choose
Number of days we just worked out, which was the 59 days.
59, yep.
We have our present value, which is 5,160.
5,160, which is the cost of the furniture.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the compounding, the rate is 15.4 per annum.
Yes. It kind of is and it kind of isn't. Okay.
Yeah.
15.4%. But what do we need to do with that?
Divide it by 365.
Yes, because we've got a yearly rate, right? We've got a yearly rate at the moment. We've got to turn it into a daily rate to match the number of days. Got it? So we divide by 365. Let's get rid of the percentage sign as well and turn this into a decimal. You guys know how to do that?
Yeah.
As a decimal, right? Just move the decimal point 1, 2 positions back. The decimal point will go here. So it's 0.154 divided by 365. Someone with a calculator, please help me out while I get my calculator.
So I've got it if you want me to.
Yeah.
0.0044219.
219. Okay. And it keeps going, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine so. Yeah. So now the best way to deal with this on your calculator, okay, is, so let's just write some of this in. So PV is the 5160.
2.48.
1 plus, okay, now 1 plus, what I would do and what you could do is write 15.4% over 360. Your calculator can handle that.
Don't
Okay.
you have to times that by 59 days though? Because that's the one daily. You need
Do you?
59 days.
Yeah, so we're gonna take this 59, put it into our formula, but where would that belong?
In the power.
Yeah, in the power. So there's no timesing, there's no multiplying. Multiplying is for simple interest situations. Okay, so the 59, where do we take that 59 into consideration? Up here, not by multiplying here.
Could you do that though? Could you times it by the 59, then times the 5,160 by that number, which ended up being 2.48 something?
Okay, so if you times 59 to this,
Yeah.
you will, and then turn that into what? What would you turn that into then?
It's just saying instead of using that, you could do that as like a like an alternative.
Yeah, the answer is if you were to multiply 59 here, right? You'd be applying simple interest principles, right? And
Okay.
no, you'll get it. You'll be out. You might not be out by much, but you'll be out. Okay, and the reason why I would use this instead of this, right, is because this isn't an exact value. This is an estimated rounded value. And when you take the error or the difference between that and put it over to the power of 59, it actually makes the how much you're out by a lot bigger, right? So just use that instead. Okay, so if your calculator can handle it, use the instead of using the value here, use the calculation there rather than the calculated value. So someone with a calculator, help me out here. 5160 times, open brackets. Oh my goodness.
5,290.03298.
Oh, very good. Was that a Stella?
Yeah.
Oh, good to hear from you. Well done. So, can you tell me that number again? 5,000?
290.
Yep.
0.032.
032. Is that right?
98.
98. Okay, cool. Now, we actually don't need to go beyond, say, here, right? We need this value to help us determine whether we round this value up or down, right? And because this is less than, what's it less than? Because it's less than 5 or 5 or below, then it becomes 5290.03. Now, before we throw our hands up in the air and celebrate how we answered this question all correct, it's always very important to see whether or not we've answered our question. Okay. So the question is, interest, and I'll just go over here, is charged from the date of purchase if the total amount owing has not been paid by the due date. Okay, now what do we have to find?
How much interest is charged?
Yeah, which is up here, isn't it? Okay. What does this number represent?
The amount owing.
Yeah,
Your future value. Yeah, it's what your value is.
yeah. This is representing the amount owing. Yep. This, what we're asked to find is the amount of interest. What do we need to do to find the interest?
minus.
Yep, minus. So I think the formula is I equals to FV minus PV. In previous thingos, previous reference sheets, I think it was I equals to A minus P, where A stands for the final amount and P stands for principal. Okay, and that was in a previous course. Whereas in yours, you've got future value minus present value. Okay, so what we do is we go the 5290 03. Is that right? The 5290 $5,290.03 minus the 5,160. Yep.
I've got an answer.
Yep.
130.03.
Yep. Yep. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
Yep. Now, this always scares me. But is someone does someone want to look at the answers at the back and see if I've got the right answer?
I've got it. It's in front of me. Anyway.
Yeah. Did we get the right answer?
What is it? 3G.
I'm putting my skills on the line here.
Question 11. Oh, something's wrong.
Is it wrong? How much are we wrong by?
It's 3G, right?
Yep.
The answer is $6.53.
Oh, okay. $6.53.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're out by a huge amount. Where might the error be? Have a think. Like, this is really good. This is a good process, because if we're out by a huge amount, at what point might the error be evident? There's a couple of places where I can think of.
You mean the compounding?
Yep. I'd go straight to the compounding. At which point?
The rate.
Yes. And can you think of an obvious point where we might?
Because if you put it into...
I mean, like 0 point. Right, that works. Okay.
I'll give you
I
where
would
I
have done
think
the
it's wrong.
percentage. So you've gone 15.4 over 100, then over 365.
Yeah, I think it's this, right? So when you put it in the calculator, we might not have put the percentage in.
Would it be 0.154?
Yeah. So if you not put the percentage sign in, it'll be 0.154 over 365.
Yeah, I was thinking that when we were doing that. Like,
No, when I put into the calculator, I got this like, I don't know. .154. No, it's still the same.
Okay, so then let's check and see if there's anywhere else that we might have been wrong. So I reckon the other place is probably the 59. Maybe we calculated the 59 wrong.
Well, maybe it's in that last bit of the question. Interest is charged from the date of purchase.
Yeah. So let's work this out so that instead of 59 days, right, we're only being charged for 5 days, because that's the other place where we could, right? Oh, hang on. So not 5 days. So 4 days, isn't it? Because there's 55 days interest free.
Maybe this is a nice, legit company song.
Yeah. Well, we're told.
Well, that would be 500 start. What's the principal? Yeah, it was 4 days. Because then if you
4 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you minus the principal, 500,
Okay.
it's the...
Okay. So
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm picking up in this question right, is that he has up to 55 days interest free and is due on the 22nd of each month. Because he's paying on the 22nd of December, it seems like they only charge for the days that he's over. But you know what? I actually think 25th of October, I actually think the answer book's wrong. Charge.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, I think the answer book's wrong.
A few times actually.
Sorry?
They've been, but the answers have been wrong before.
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna, if I had to argue my position, right, on this question, I would probably challenge the textbook authors and say $130.03 is the.
And even if you put the 4 as in the formula, it's still $8.70. So maybe
Okay.
it is the answers are wrong, but maybe we do have to put the 4 in rather than the 59 days.
Yeah. I'm gonna hold my ground.
Looks like you should get the textbook writers on speed dial for this situation.
Yeah. How much interest is charged if he pays the balance on the 22nd of December? Interest is charged from the date of purchase if the total amount owing has not been paid by the due date. Okay, so if he's paid by the due date, which is the 22nd of December, right? Then he would still be charged, the answer is he'd be charged either 0 interest, right? Or 59 days interest. So I don't know where they're getting the 4 from.
Yeah.
When I've been doing my study for it, we've only done the 4, like we haven't done
Yes.
the 59. So maybe it is just, we have to just do it to the 4.
No, not by my understanding of this question,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
that you're actually charged 59 days. You either get the interest free period or you don't. I might ask Hannah. Hannah, are you there?
Yeah.
What's your understanding of this question?
Um,
Am I wrong?
I would say, because it says interest is charged from the date of purchase. So I would say it's the 59.
Yeah.
But I have done other questions as well where it doesn't say the date of purchase. And
Yes.
then you do it just like the 4 days.
Yes.
So it's just like the wording of the question. But
Yes.
that one, I would say.
The 59.
Yeah.
There's no way you can use 4. 4 doesn't even come into it because you either charge the 59 if you're late, or you're either paying, if you're paying within the interest-free period, then no dramas, you're not getting charged interest at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they mean
Oh yeah, hang on. Yeah.
the due date is the 22nd of December,
Yeah.
but that's not clarified. It's just
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Here's where the question gets a little bit tricky, right? Because he's saying, I think they're saying, interest is charged from the due date of purchase, and if the total amount has not been paid by the due date. So yeah, the 4 does come into it, right? And the 4 will come into it because even though he's later than 55 days,
Yeah.
right? There is the 22nd of December, and if he pays within that period here, he'll only be charged a maximum of the 4 days that he's late, right? So this is either 1 day late, 2 days late, 3 days, 4 days late. But as soon as you pass the 22nd of December, you're going to be charged 59 days, 60 days, 61 days. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
That's what's going on, I think.
Mm.
Yeah. Does that seem like it makes sense, Hannah?
That's kind
Yeah.
of confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we worked out with the 4 days, was it still over?
It was.
No, it was under. Oh, it was over.
Yeah, the answer was 6, and if we put in 4, it was like 8 or something.
Yeah. Okay. And I think I understand why that might be the case.
Maybe the 365 they didn't use that or something. Maybe they used like
No.
no.
No, what I think it is, right, is what I think it is that shouldn't be the 4, that should be the 3, right?
Yeah, for each month. Is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Oh no, not for each day, but what they would have done is because he paid on the 22nd, they didn't include the 22nd.
Okay, does it work now? Put it in
How many
caps.
days if we put in 3?
Yeah.
And then minus 7, 6, 0. Yeah, they've only counted 3 days.
Yeah. That's what happened.
All right.
We could see the process of the question and what you
Sorry?
have to do. At least we can see now the process of the question. Like,
Yeah.
okay, how many days, and then you just
Yeah. So do you see how valuable it is, right, to do the question, check if it's right or wrong, and then go through a process of troubleshooting. Where might we have gone wrong? Where could we have gone wrong? Right? Because that
Rating.
makes you aware. That makes you aware of all the pitfalls.
The deciphering, we didn't do that properly.
Yeah. So if we were to list out the pitfalls that we fell into, what were some of the main pitfalls?
number of days.
Yep, the number of days, right?
I would probably say just like not taking the time to like fully read the question or like,
Yep,
makes sense. Like not, yeah.
not fully reading the question. But specifically, when we didn't read the question, what did we skip over? Like the interest-free period, how the interest-free period works.
Mm.
I think was a big one, right? And then the number of days, right? So it was 3, not 4, and not 59, right? Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so yeah, the other one was the interest-free period, how it works, right? Because even though you're later than 55 days, right? If you're at this point here, which is what, 59 days by the time you're due, then you only get charged the days that you were outside of the interest-free period. But as soon as you go past the 22 days or the 22nd, the due date, then you're charged from the date of purchase. That's what the question was trying to get us to apply. And we successfully fell into the ditch, didn't we?
This is a lot of scribbling for one question.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So are we okay with question 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.